All right, everyone. Nate and Beth stopping on by, returning to continue our reviews of Friday the 13th, the series. In this case,
we're winding it down with Season 3, Episode 14, called Repetition. And once again, we were completely wrong with our guesses.
once again, I forgot what we guessed. What we guess?
I guessed a mirror or something.
I don't think I guessed anything. I had no frickin' idea. But before we get started, this one's kind of funny. I'll just say this all in one thing, just so I don't forget. But this one, right away, Mickey does one of these things where she's talking to someone and she says, "Oh, Johnny and Jack are out of town doing whatever," and we're like, "Okay, Mickey only episode."
Well, this she's the star.
It's true. Season 3, Robbie is his first billing, but it turns out even this episode, she's barely even in it. So that's kind of interesting. Is that a rarity? I
think so.
I think
where none of them are really in it.
It's common where two of them or one of them are in it, but like to have like none of them in it is really. I think this might be a first.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But it's funny because I didn't even realize it until it was almost over that holy shit, we haven't seen Mickey since the beginning. And
we kind of discovered what the enchanted item was, and
enchanted,
cursed.
It's not a Disney cartoon, but yeah. Did you want to start or should I?
I don't know. I kind of didn't really have a lot of impression of this episode. It was well, once we figured out what the item was, and I can't understand how it even got started unless there's a certain time limit. Anyway.
Oh, well, that's right, because the cursed item, we can start by saying the cursed item is this
cameo.
What was it called?
A cameo locket.
Okay, well, Beth's a woman. She knows what it's called. A caramel locket. Cameo?
A cameo, which is a silhouette of a... Normally it's a woman
so
facing
we can only
sideways.
We can only assume that that's someone, the last person who died or whatever.
Probably didn't make the time limit.
Okay, so what ends up happening is this guy who looks like an older version of Ralphie from Christmas Story, but it's not him. It looks like it could be though. Is being all celebrated at the beginning of being whatever columnist
of the year
of the. Oh, is it year? Okay.
Yes.
Big deal. And then he basically works all night and meet the deadline, and he ends up running into a meet the deadline. He ends up running into a.
He falls asleep while driving.
The next morning, driving and smashes over a girl walking the dog, and I guess she was wearing this
necklace,
chamomile tea necklace.
Cameo.
Cannabis. Beth's giving me the look. Okay. Anyway, I better stop everyone if I want to get through this review alive.
She might be used in the cameo.
I might be a cameo. Okay.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the girl was the owner of this, but we didn't find this out until like later when he looks under his car and sees that it's hanging.
Right, the girl had been missing for a month, and the mom's frantic, and the guy's like goes to the priest and forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. I hit a little girl,
this
but
priest
it wasn't
got a lot
fault.
Of business and
yeah, priest was more like the main character.
Yeah, and it's like they didn't even have a mic on the priest. You couldn't even hear him. He's just like, my son.
Yeah.
But what I think's so funny is, he's supposed to completely run over this girl, but when he gets out, the girl's like in front of the vehicle. So then, how is the necklace under it? It's just a crock of shit. But
cursed items have ways of being found.
But anyway, what ends up happening is once he ends up finding this necklace, the necklace is starting to talk. It's the girl's silhouette on the necklace, on the whatever Beth is calling it kind of necklace.
Cameo.
Cameo.
The listeners are going to know what this is called before you say it right.
The listeners are going to be pissed at me, right?
Yeah.
Just like you are. But
It's a cameo. Come on.
So the massacred girl is on there, and she's saying, what's she saying?
Help me, save me, don't let me be in here forever. Oh, it's easy. Just trade a soul for mine. Bring her to the place where you killed me at the same time and kill her, Walter. Oh.
So then he's got this ailing mother, so he decides to bring
mother
her there,
for
and
a
it's
walk.
so funny. And TV show, you're on a deadline. You got a schedule. So if it's raining, you gotta still film. In this scene,
It's in the rain.
It's actually real rain and probably cold. And they got this poor old woman out there doing this scene, and it's, oh, Walter, I'm cold. And she's probably
is
really cold, and basically.
So he suffocates the mother. So the little girl climbs out of the well that she was hidden in. She runs home. And
yeah, because we didn't mention that he hid the girl's body, and the mom's all frantic because she's missing to the world, and he hid the body and is feeling all guilty about it, and until he figures out how to do this, kill the mom, bring the girl back.
Mm-hmm. Well, the necklace told him that.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's trying to figure out how to get his mother back after he's already called the mortuary saying, oh, my mother died in her sleep, come collect her body, I don't have any arrangements. So then the mother's now inside the cameo, her silhouette's inside the cameo.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Whoever's soul is lost in the cameo becomes the silhouette.
It wasn't very good planning. Like we can only assume that when he called to have the body taken away, he wasn't thinking of bringing her back yet, or whatever. Because I'm like, why would he have her taken away if he's planning to bring her back? But anyway, that's the plot. It has to go that way. So then the mom can, like, it's so funny how.
What happens to the mom?
Well, we can just fast forward by saying one of the characters that in this episode,
a homeless person gets exchanged for the mother's soul.
Just cut it short.
And she wakes up while she is
being embalmed, which was really funny.
And so she ends up dying during the embalming.
So she does come back to life, but when you're being embalmed, it's going to kill you if you're alive. So it's really funny how she was dead, comes back to life while she's being embalmed, and then dies right away because she's being embalmed. So
and
that
the homeless
was funny.
person still gets trapped inside the locket, which I thought was kind of bogus. I mean, I think the grandmother should have stayed in the locket.
That's true, but maybe a little writing squabble or squibble or whatever.
And again, there's no Mickey, there's no Jack, and there's no Johnny. It's more like the mother and the person who runs the homeless shelter, who are the two top people.
I didn't even have a problem with it, because for my money, I enjoyed this one.
Oh, we forgot to mention that he tries to destroy the necklace twice.
Oh, yeah.
Once when it's the little girl, he throws it down the garbage disposal. And then when it's his mother, he throws it down a well. So he's got to get this locket out of two very...
Well, it wasn't very hard to get it out of the garbage disposal, but harder to get it out of the well.
I still think
Beth has a...
I have a thing with garbage disposals.
Did I? Well, yeah, I should show you Amityville 4 then.
No, let's not. I just think they're the most disgusting thing ever made. So he's got to bring these victims... I don't like garbage disposals. They're scary. That's the one thing that scares me. Nothing else really does. And spiders.
Well, you can't. You don't like seeing toys.
Okay, we're not gonna say that right now.
We're not gonna even mention it. Okay.
These people don't know me that well. We're not gonna get that intimate. Thank you.
So
it's just this swap soul for soul, and the locket somehow latches on to the person that the soul's gonna be exchanged into, and he finally, girl's alive, homeless guy is dead, mother's dead.
She came back to life, but died because she's being embalmed. So now
and this guy is just going out of his mind.
So homeless guy is now in the thing
in
saying,
the cameo.
Kill someone,
better her than me, better them than me, anyone, doesn't matter.
So basically,
he tries to get the little girl back to kill her.
He doesn't only try, he does.
He kidnaps her.
And me and Beth are like, oh no.
Not the little girl again.
I didn't think they'd go that far, and luckily
they didn't, because to save face, because he's going nuts, because he's the only one that can hear these voices.
I do like how the guy, visually is just getting worse and worse looking, and 5 o'clock, 6, 7, 8 o'clock shadow.
2-3 days without shaving, dirty clothes, and the homeless woman's like, "You don't really fit in here. Your clothes are dirty, but they match. Why are you here? There's help." And so he was gonna, I don't know, maybe kill her, but he wanted to kill the little girl because he figured if he killed the little girl again and confessed his sin to the police, then his sins would be, would be reset.
It seems like he got the idea from someone. Did he? Was it the lock?
I think.
Or the cameo?
Cameo.
Was
Cameo.
Was it that thing that? It seems like he got the idea to reset it from maybe the cameo.
He just got sick of killing new people, so he figures if he kills the first one again and confesses his sin, it'll go back to the original. And
so his intention was to do that. Luckily, he ends up
the homeless woman the shelter woman who runs the shelter. The homeless shelter owner, finds him in the wooded area where the little girl is, because it's got to be the exact same spot at the exact same time. That's how the cursed item goes. But he's trying to reverse everything to the beginning that way. His mom's still going to be dead, but at least, he can confess that he killed this little girl and go to jail for the rest of his life. I don't know when he thought it was better, but maybe at the end...
hopefully not be bothered by the voices in his head, which is not even a sure thing. But
to save time and effort, he ends up killing himself, which is 4 kills, but 2 came back. Little girl came back, homeless guy came back, mother died during embalming.
Oh, and so is that mother dies twice? Ooh.
Mother dies twice. So is that 5?
Sure.
And so he dies trying to reset everything.
Okay, 3.
And the woman who owns the homeless shelter brings the cameo locket to Mickey saying, "Oh,
at the very end.
This might be something you're interested in," and then you can give away the ending. Who's she talking to at the end?
Oh, Jack. What'd she say? I forgot.
We got a cursed item and...
Oh, yeah. Luckily we got it back before it did any harm or caused any trouble or whatever, which was funny.
And the woman who owned the homeless shelter just kind of turned around and says, "You have no idea," in her face.
You have no idea, bitch.
I don't know. I'd only give this one half a thumb just because it was a good idea, but it was poorly executed.
Well, I disagree. This reminded me of the good old days of Friday the 13th series. I'll give a notch down from a full thumb. I thought it was fun, and the guy seeing him deteriorate throughout the course of the episode was funny, and there's some funny stuff in here, and seeing Mama's toes wiggle as she's being embalmed and come back to life, and other scenes made this episode fun for me. So next week we have to look forward to
The Long Road Home. It could be a vehicle, it could be a bike.
It's a cursed Winnebago.
I'm going to say a vehicle of some kind.
Okay.
I'm just going to be very vague but specific.
Sounds great. Well, before we hit 14 minutes, shall we say sayonara?
Sayonara, and it's a cameo. So hopefully you guys can listen to us next week.
You should be able to if all goes well.
Well, unless I got captured by the cameo.
Okay. Hasta la vista, baby.